are a lot of issues that are really difficult to talk about. Through my work as a songwriter, I've seen the power of a song on many occasions to speak to somebody when just talking didn't seem to work. Well, at Music for the Soul, we use songs and stories to share the compassion of Christ with people who are hurting. When we talk to people, there's this wall that we all have to protect ourselves. And music has a way of seeping through the cracks in those walls and softening and opening up that heart. When I first started the ministry, I did it because I'd seen that anecdotally. I'd seen it happen 1,000 times when I wasn't even really trying. Years later, I discovered there's actually brain science that supports why what we do works. It turns out that language is processed primarily in the left hemisphere of the brain. Melody is processed primarily in the right hemisphere of the brain, as is rhythm. So when I sing to you, the entire brain is engaged. The other really interesting thing is that trauma resides primarily in the right hemisphere of the brain. So that means that music and a song can access that trauma and open the person up to receive a message regarding whatever pain they're carrying.
What we know in my field is that it is so important now to pay attention to body, mind, and spirit. We're looking at people so much more holistically. We need to engage in all parts of a person, and music is one of those resources that we haven't used, I don't think, to the fullest. So what I noticed about Music for the Soul was that there were lyrics and spoken words that were used directly to specific life problems. In my area of eating disorders, when people listen to those words, they're like, that's exactly what I'm feeling. That's exactly the struggle that I've had. So it's very unique in that sense.
We've done projects on suicide grief, on pornography addiction, caregiving for a loved one in the home. There's no topic that's off limits to Music for the Soul. First of all, on every project, we have an advisory team of Christian therapists who counsel on the issue, of pastors, and probably most importantly, of people who have lived through it. People who have lived the issue and come out the other side free. The thing that's the most important to me is when somebody who's been through it listens to one of our songs and they go, that's me. That's what it felt like. The thing that keeps me going is that we hear from people. One day I was in the office and there was a knock at the door, and this woman had found us and come to our office to tell us her son had committed suicide. He was 17 years old. She was a single mom, and she had been furious at God and had lost her faith. And there's a song on our Chaos in the Heart project called How Could You? The song actually is the person who's lost a loved one challenging God, angry with God. And she said, I heard that song and it gave me back my faith. She said, I'm just screaming at God right now, but at least we're talking. I see all these kinds of issues and we don't talk about them. We don't talk about them in healthy ways. And Music for the Soul does. So what's driving me and what my vision is that we could have more open discussion, that these songs would prompt people to be able to speak about these things in their churches and in counseling and even in their friendships and personal relationships in ways that shed light on these dark issues so that people can find hope and find encouragement and find their way to healing.